an interesting conference I was at, an interparliamentary conference in Rome. And Minister, if you were there, you would have been disturbed to hear the language coming from our Italian hosts. What they were talking about was essentially a European army. They were talking about the ability of Europe to intervene, this is to quote them directly, in the same way as the United States intervenes at the moment. They were talking about not having a common defence policy in the short term, but obviously in the long term they want to have a common policy. And not only that, we need to gradually create a European army. Now I'll quote you from the European Parliament resolution on the 12th of September 2013, which states that the efforts within the Council to increase the flexibility and usability of the battle groups and transfer of authority and to remove national caveats, basically removing Ireland's veto over the deployment of battle groups. And that was the language being talked about, not just by the Italians, but all across the other parliaments that were there. Now, I tried to put down language in the outcome of that conference that would talk about Irish neutrality, talk about our insistence that there would not be a European army, and talk about the fact that we have a triple lock and we do not deploy and will not deploy our troops unless there's a UN mandate. But that was resisted. And there's nowhere in that. But worse, again, is this language in the European Parliament talking about removing Ireland's national caveat, or removing our veto over the deployment of troops. They were even talking about, and it's in the language, about having a blank check, basically, the ability to get a resolution passed now for the deployment of troops on undetermined missions in the future, under undetermined causes. And I'd ask the Minister, maybe when he meets with the Council, that future language in all resolutions, and I don't know how this Parliament passed a resolution talking about transfer of authority and to remove national caveats, but it certainly did. And maybe the Minister would just bring that up with his colleagues, but all language in future should talk about Irish neutrality, which they refuse to put in that resolution.
Okay, that's fine, but just